Hello guys, I'm back again. Sorry about that. Again, for you people in the stream, we'll wait for people to pop in and say sorry. It just, literally the whole thing just froze, locked up. I don't know what that was, whether it's just a case of I'm just asking too much for the old PC again. Probably a combination of everything. Installing mods could be never a good thing to do. Right. So how do you actually install mods on this then? Do they automatically... Welcome back, Tom. Sorry mate, as I said, it's the whole, just a minute ago, it's just, the whole thing just froze up and I don't know what happened. I dare say I don't know whether it was the case of the PC. Again, it's an old girl now, she might have just got a bit kerfuffled, or whether it was just again just the installing the mods was done it or whatever. But now I don't actually know how to install the mods. They're installed, so I'll come back out. They're in. They're all in. They're all Giants mods, so they should be in theory okay. They auto install. Okay. Nice. Oh, I see. Oh, yeah, it's right here. Idiot. You can select them here. So I'm going to select that one. Select that one. I might regret this. I know I'm going to probably regret this. I said no mods, didn't I? Earlier, I said no mods for at least a few days. Keep it vanilla. They're technically Giants mods, so... it is still vanilla. I'm trying to justify it in my mind, but even I don't think I can even justify it to myself, to be honest. Right, okay, so we now have a different Conbine to choose from. Where does that fall? Was that Massey? Was it this one? I should say mod on it, shouldn't it? It'd probably be right. Yeah, it's there, right at the end of mod. So that again, that's the case from FS15, isn't it? Yeah, that is the case from FS15. Well, so I say 15, 17. One day I'll get things right. Yes, that's the case from FS17. You know what I meant. Yeah, that's the case I used on. Now, would you people mind that we use that? Is it the same though? It looks different. It looks more retro than the case from 17. Oh, don't do that on my game. You got the JD. I suspect there's loads of mods already popping up on mod sites as well. As I say, I'm going to steer clear of most of the mods for now, for next week or so. The only vital mods I'm really going to be playing with, if they turn up, the only ones are essential to me right now, of obviously Courseplay, and the steering wheel indicator thing to turn the steering wheel indicators off. That, and obviously some sort of placeable mixing for food mixing. It is the same one with 19 graphics. Yeah, I figured it would be. Thing is, again, it's a bit rinse and repeat. I don't want to be a bit too rinse and repeat. Would you guys like this? I guess we could just buy it for now and set it up for another Conbine at a later date. That's an option. Just don't want to be too rinse and repetitive. Looks shinier. Shiny and new. How much is it? Hang on. 145. See, that's not a bad price either. That sort of falls between this one and this one. What's the grain capacity? Let's check it out. So the grain capacity is, hang on, six three. Oh, sorry, 6340. And this is, oh, that's bigger. Is that bigger? Yeah, that's bigger. That's 10,000, and it's cheaper. No, it's a bit more expensive. Sorry. That's cheaper. Okay, that is more. Right, okay. Six three four oh compared to 4. Yeah, so it's bigger than that one. Smaller than that one. So it does fall between these two. I was right. It's alright, Sinky. Yeah, I must admit, I'm thinking John Deere. After all that, we're going to check the mods out. And I haven't driven a John Deere on the Conbine at all in any of my FS series, apart from probably a modded one many moons back. Michelin. Oh, show me the logo. Michelin tyres. Wheel setup standard. Wide tyres. Crop destruction. Ooh, I can have a track. Ooh, track. I've never really liked tracks. I can always upgrade it. I'm gonna have the wide tyres. Just because it makes it look more beefy. Just don't drive over in the crops, Kev. That's what I'm telling myself right now. Buy. Are you sure? Yes. And what's the header that goes with this? If I can find them. I guess are they in this one? There we go. Corn headers. Headers. It's gonna be a JD one, I guess. Be this one, I guess. Yeah, because these all look a bit too big. So I'll go for that one. Buy. Buy. Are you sure? Yes. Okay. Now running out of money big time now. I may even have to release some trailers. Tippers, because we need tippers, aren't I? Now, I've used these many times before. I know you can hook these bad boys up. Is that a dolly on that one? Yeah, that looks like a dolly. That'd be a nightmare to hook up. I might use some of these. Because I've used these loads of times in the past. At least they've got proper grain trailers in this now. get a fun JD tractor. Well, we'll do once we get some more money. Just thinking tippers now at the moment. I'm like, how many? I want to steer clear of these. I know it sounds stupid, but I've just used them so many times in the past. I've used those back in 15 or 11, 2011. I used like a road train version of them, which is quite funky actually, but they just hold naff all in them. Them are dollies, I'm guessing. Looks like a dolly, which make it hard to connect up to. Those I'm pretty sure. What I'll do, I'll buy one of these. Buy one. Wheel setup. Does it have Michelin tyres? Not you'd really need Michelin tyres on a... It does, but would you really need Michelin tyres on... Show me the logo on a trailer? Ah, go on. Can't get wide tyres for this. I'll buy one. Yes. Okay. And I'll lease one. Yes. Okay. That way we don't spend too much more money. Right. That's all gravy. Now I've got to go and get... I don't have to leave these wheels. No, I can't bear these wheels. We're going to go and get the proper wheels back on it. I hope they don't charge me again for doing it. I guess they will have to for fitting new wheels on it. I actually like this little fence. Oh, my track IR's not on. Typical. I have to use the camera. Using my mouse, sorry. Actually, can I pan? Yeah, I can use it. And my steering wheel's really stiff as well. I didn't set none of that up properly. Oops. Again, follow me mod would be handy on this. Could always just come out. No, because I've got the stream running now. Come out and get someone to jump on. Would you guys be up for jumping on? Bearing in mind all the only mods I've got on this is the ones that are from the mods website or the mod hub. Oh, this is where I find out it doesn't connect, doesn't it? Doesn't help that I'm not parked straight. Pan round with the arrow keys. Zoom out. I hate these wheels. These tiny wheels. Just don't do it injustice. It makes it look like it's going to fall over at any minute. Just like anyone's going to... Well, they do connect. Okay. I figured they might, because they used to in 17, but you know how giants do things. They tend to love swapping things out and changing things. And I'm leaning when my track IR's not on. Just hop over this. We was going to get a dog, weren't we, as well? We didn't get that in the last live stream. A lot. Yeah, anyone wants to play? Want to play alongside? Feel free. Be honest. If you don't, you don't. If you do, then I'll just pause the. I'll save it here and then. G. Just the extractor can stay here. Where are we going to put the... Can we move? No, once it's placed, isn't it? So I've got to figure out a place where I can place the dog kennel. Mind you, again, the dog kennel doesn't cost that much. I could place it over here. Because the house could go over here. Do we own it? I don't think we own this bit of land, do we? No, we don't. How much is it to buy? It's not that expensive either. But then I won't have much left to anything else. What's growing on here? More potatoes. Means I'd have to hire a potato harvester just to harvest the potatoes. Unlike that last lot, I just... Yeah, I know. I want to keep it legit for a little while. I know I can cheat money. I could hack. I haven't hacked the game yet. I can hack the game and cheat some more in, but I want to try and... Try and keep it legit, if you know what I mean. I could cut some of these trees down and put up on the hill. Because this is my land all the way through here where these treetops are. But will the house fit up here? I'm thinking long term where the house is going to go. Eventually going to need a house so you can sleep. That's a long term investment though, because look, it's mere decoration really as well. Yeah, 350,000 just for a house. Mind you, it seems like realistically, actually, I hate to use that phrase again. How much is a dog kennel? Because I can just buy the dog kennel. Where is the dog kennel? There. 2.5 grand. I don't want to put him in the way of anything. I don't want him getting run over either. And I don't want him getting lost in the forest. I'm going to put him over. I'm going to put him over this grass bit. And then I can move it later on. Put him over in this middle grass bit. Oops. Animals. I don't think you have to feed him either. And he can be like a guard dog as well. It's still red. Why? Cannot plow. Collides with what object though? Is it because the tractor's in the way? Okay. Let's move that out of the way then. Seems a bit stupid. Move this over here then. Over by this little dugout over here. I'll call it a dugout, but you know what I mean. No, because they've done something with the levelling tools as well, so you can level it, you can raise it, you can lower it, and all that good gravy. That's better. Oh no, maybe not. Doesn't like it there, weirdly enough. So I'm going to stick it on the edge here. There we go. Hello. Because he'll follow you around now. Would he get? I wonder if he gets in the tractor. You can feed him. Oh, I can feed him. Pet him. How do you get him to follow you? Feed. No, I don't want to cut him up with a chainsaw. How do you get him to pet? How do you get him to follow you? Oh yeah, click on him. Right, okay, cool. There we go. Will he get in the tractor? These are all important questions I need to answer. Come on, boy. Will you get in the tractor? No. Go home. I wonder if he gets in the pickup. I'm not going to buy a pickup. I could rent one. No. No and no. I'm going to get the Conbine. Oh yeah, we're going to need a header trailer, aren't we? Oh, I can't do the case. You're on Xbox. Well, it's on the mod hub. It's on the mod hub. Yeah, but it's on the mod hub. Can't everyone on the mod hub download stuff? I don't know about consoles because I haven't played on a console since the dinosaurs are still alive. Xbox One was my last console. No, not one. Xbox 360. That's my last console. Header trailers. Yikes, New Holland. That looks a bit too short. I'm going to risk it for a chocolate biscuit. That looks a bit too long though. I'm going to go for the longer one, doesn't matter. You can't customize it much either. Make it the John Deere green, I guess. Are you sure? Yes. Yeah. What, no backup beeper? I'm surprised. This is a future investment. This thing's going to be doing a lot of work, so you'll be having it for a long time, peeps. You're going to be seeing a lot of this thing for a while. It's like, oh, Kev's in a John Deere Combining again. Oh yeah, Kev's in a John Deere Combining again. You only have yourselves to blame. Yeah, okay. I could take them back off because we haven't actually bought none of them. Is it multi-platform though, this? Can you play it multi-platform? I don't know if you can you? Saying that. I know Red Dead would be multi-platform from what I can understand when it comes out. Yeah, this is definitely too short for this trailer. Oh well. It works. Jump inside the Conbine. Inside the Conbine. Let's look through the Conbine. Me, Kevin Sawyer. I don't know if this is multi-platform or not. So, answers on a postcard, peeps. Like people be thinking, do you know nothing about this game? Do you do no research whatsoever? Nope. I did bits, but I can't drive to save my life today. Nothing new there. Right, that'll do. Beacons off. Beacons off. Engine off. Jump out. We'll save it just in case it crashes or something bizarre happens. I haven't got autosave on because autosave winds me up. Nothing chronic. Hello, boy. Where are you wandering off to? You're my little guard dog, aren't you? I so want to see if he gets in a pickup truck now, like on a. Someone I know. I haven't put it on multiplayer yet. Sorry, mate. Hang on. I will do. Hang on. I got distracted. Save. Save again just in case. Are you sure? Quick game. Please don't crash on me. Please don't crash on me. Please don't crash on me. Good. So multiplayer. Create game. That one. Confirm. I can deselect because I've got none of these, have I? I haven't got that. Though they were installed, I haven't bought any. I can keep that. No, I won't. Has everyone got that one? That mod there? Well, it's DLC, isn't it? Really? Or is it console, PC, master race? You get one thing, we get another. Well, I can deselect it if you don't want to install it. Because I haven't bought one yet. I just installed it just because I like them. Although they do drink diesel, I just always like them. Because they're old, rustic looking ones. There's like that one on 15 that had that really nice engine sound on it. Okay. I'll put it on then if you've installed it. Confirm. There might be a chance we buy it. I'm not going to put password on. Can I increase the numbers? No. 8 is the maximum. Right, okay. Multi-purpose. Now I don't know if they have that. I'm going to try it. Last time I had it on, but I'm going to leave it off this time and see if it makes any difference. Continental Europe. Start. Right, we're up and running. Do I need to go in the farm? No, I'm already in it. Oh no, you do. Join farm. Farm joined. That's quite good because you could potentially set up your own farm on here if you wanted, Sinky. Oh, it's about a dog's here. Yay! I didn't know if the dog was going to make it to the multiplayer. Right. Mind you, I don't like the fact that he's right next to this pesticide now. I might have to move that before he starts like sniffing around it and getting pesticide in him and making him sick. Right, that's all we can do really is just watch fields grow. I could potentially buy that field there, or buy this bit of land here. But I want to try and save some of the money just in case we get stuck or something. Birds. Ah! That'll scare them off. Ooh, we need scarecrows. No weeds, although what's that? That looks like a weed. Oh, it's a dead's weed. It's a dead weed, isn't it? So just to fast forward time, I guess. And keep an eye on the field and see what happens to it. Right, because once you have a house, apparently you can sleep, from what I can understand. You can sleep rather than just fast forward time all the way through. We'll just keep an eye on that weed level. Because they're both the same sort of like amounts. Thought that was Sinky for a second then, but it's a cement truck. It's like, you're telling me I look like a cement truck? No, I just saw a vehicle. I thought, hello, is that Sinky driving around? And he sneaked in without me knowing. Oh, it's growing. And it's 100% fertilised, ready to harvest. I find that hard to believe. It says ready to harvest. Are they both ready to harvest? That's way too quick. I've got plant growth on normal, haven't I? Yeah, plant growth is normal. You could trade stuff, yeah. I don't know how it works. You'd get money, obviously. You just go in and then just start your own farm up. You'd get the same amount I did when I started up the farm. It's up to you. If you want to help out on this one, or just start out your own farm. And is it only valid while you're on multiplayer? Because then would it then be no longer valid? I'm going to grab the Conbine. And it's not Random Dog over. I've got to think of a name for the dog now. I'll leave it up to the people in the stream and the archives to name the dog. You didn't see it? Oh, okay. Definitely set up. I wonder if that PP thingy Bobby has a part to play. Universal plug and play. UP. AP. Now this is, was this soybeans or wheat? Can't remember. Soybeans. The wheat textures on some of these look a bit rubbish, if you ask me. Taking a closer look before we go cracking it down. Okay, I like what they've done with the fact that it sort of like all moves around when you walk through it, and it all moves around in the wind, but it looks very similar to... It looks a bit flat, if you ask me. Right, anyway, so we need to unfold Conbine. I might should do some combining myself now. Pipe out, fold Conbine, disable straw heath. I don't think it's a let us do, because it's soybeans. So it's just going to cut it automatically. At least we don't need chopped straw mod now. Whoops, missed a bit. Nuts. Oh, and again. Bad as Sinky last night. He's like wandering. It's like, yeah, oh no. The Combine's wandered halfway across the field and into the neighbouring field and run someone's dog over. Just try and do this in cab, although I'm not a big fan of trying to harvest while in cab, because I've got to try and position the header head just right, because my track IR's not on. I'm not even trying to attempt it. Not about my track IR anyway. With my track IR I might give it a try. I wonder if we can just dump this straight into the silo. Yeah, I remember that. He was like, oh yeah, just checking my page. Oh no, I'm in someone else's field. Try and get the Conbine lamination in if we can. That looks all pretty rinse and repeat from 17. Grain again looks pretty rinse and repeat. The only thing that they've done is the textures on the actual Conbine look different. So the models are all pretty much the same, they just skin them slightly differently. considering they're probably starting to work on this just after they released 17. Don't get me wrong, there is nice bits on this game. I know I'm being overly harsh on it, but I still think in my heart of hearts it's just a more polished 17. If I hadn't had 17, if I'd gone straight from 15, this is my personal opinion, I'm probably going to lose a lot of farming subs here. They're going to go, no, how dare you, like I always say. But this is just my personal opinion. If I hadn't had 17, if I'd jumped straight from 15 to this, I'd be amazed. I'd be awe-dropped. There's some nice bits on this, don't get me wrong. They are stepping in the right direction, but it just seems a bit like they've used too much of 17 in this. Because cotton farming's been around since 15 anyway. Like I said the other day, it's like I remember doing cotton harvesting on, I think it was at 20. Was it? I think it was 2015 or 20. Yeah, because I remember to find a special combine. It took me like 2 days to find the special combine to harvest it. The one that worked anyway. There's loads of them about on the mod sites at the time, but they either glitches or they're just damn ugly, or yeah, like you said the other night, this is what 17 should have been. Because when you look at the trailers of 17, it actually looks more like this. And I actually, funny enough, it's funny thinking about it now. At the time when I saw 17 trailer, I said that's probably going to be the next one, not this one. The trailer for this was more geared up for this. Again, it looked, they'd sort of polished it a bit, but it did look more like this. I like the slurry effects on this. That was amazed. I was amazed by that. Now, do I hire out a... Problem is I've got nowhere to store the straw, have I? I could get a baler. Could lease a baler. Uh-oh. I've driven over my crops. No! And that was a stupid mistake to make. For a second then my brain just went back into 17 and it's like, yeah, you're fine, you can drive over your own crops and destroy them. You won't destroy them. And so as soon as I drove onto the field, I'm like, ah, yeah. Can't get away with doing that anymore. I've got 4 people watching the stream. Hello to the people watching. Don't be shy. Sinky don't bite, I don't bite. But going back to the whole 17 or 19 thing, I'm glad. To be fair, if it was more money, I'd be more outraged. But I was kind of half expecting this from the day when they first started talking about 19. I was like, yeah. And as soon as I saw that first trailer, I said, yeah, this looks more like a polished 17. And that's why I didn't get overhyped about it. I'm glad I didn't, really, because if I had got overhyped about it, I think I'd have probably got a bit more disappointed with it. I should have cut a headland on this side, really. Thought I'd just rough it. Three people. Someone ran away. It's like, no! He's encouraging me to speak in the chat box. Well, hang on, I forgot I was on that stream. Oh, better come out. He's not being funny now. He's doing serious farming, not running around with a chainsaw. I like the grass effects. That does. I do like that. I guess the grass does grow back over time. One makes me wonder, does the grass eventually just turn into mud if you keep on driving over it? Because in real life it would. It kills it. I can't get the whole lot. I'm going to have to just come back on that bit. I wonder if I could probably get away with a bigger header on this. I get a feeling I can. I might invest in a bigger header and see if it can power it. I just get a feeling we can probably get away with a bigger header. This header seems a bit small for this combine, but this is the smallest combine. Uh-oh. Almost done it again. And this is the smallest, and that's the smallest header. So I guess this should be right. That's one field done. I'm going to see if we can directly dump this straight into the silo. I might have bought those trailers for nothing. Well, not nothing, because we can use them for transporting later on at some point. Mind you, hang on, I'm just thinking, I've just had a memory. It does, yay! I do these crazy things so you guys don't have to. Look, it does directly dump straight into the silo. But we will need the trailers to sell some of it off at some point if we need money. Makes a weird noise as well. Makes like someone having a pee. I'm not going to bother the header trailer. I'm just going to drive straight over to that other field. Nuts to the AI. If they can't see me coming in the combine, they need their eyes testing. Yeah, I definitely think the AI go a bit over its OTT around this bit, because if you're combining up here, they stop down the road, don't they? We found that out last night. This isn't my field, so it doesn't mind. Doesn't matter if I crash into it. Right, we're going to need to enable chaff. It used to be that, so it should still be that. Right, I'll let him. I'll hire a work of this bit, and I'll go and either get a baler or sell it directly. Get a baler and keep it, or sell it directly. I'll ask you peeps. Ah, hello Lego Kid, how's you? Welcome to the stream, and you're a new sub. You subbed yesterday. Thanks for your comment yesterday as well. yeah, you know, your console, or I remember you saying something about you wanting it for the PS4. It's not cheap, is it? Because on Steam, I got this or pre-ordered this for 23 quid. Is it what, 40, 50 quid for a PS4 version? I'm guessing. Again, I'm dinosaur age with when it comes to consoles. 360 is what I used to have back in the day when the dinosaurs were still alive. US dollars. So yeah, it's not going to be far off. It's going to be what? It's probably going to be about 30, 40 quid. So it's still paying more. Mind you, they're probably going to ramp it up as they normally do in the UK. So it's probably going to be about $49.99 to $59.99. Last time I went into an actual game shop, this was many moons back, and now I looked at the price of console games and I was like, that's 60 quid. No way I'd paid 60 quid for it. When I used to buy the console games back in the day, again when the dinosaurs were still alive, they were about 40 quid back then. They're about $39.99. And even then, back then, that was still quite expensive, but not as expensive as they are now. Oh, 30 quid, what, for your console copy? I didn't, hang on, didn't you think you had a console, Sinky? Or you're talking about your computer copy? I'll change up. No, I'll leave the wheels on for now. What? Oh, you paid 30 quid? I'm sure I paid 26 for mine. Sure of it. They probably walloped it up just when... Yeah, I'm sure it was 26. It was a pre... Because they were doing an offer on it at the time. But even then, it's still more money on a PC, on a PS4 or console. That's why I walked away from consoles, because the games are just stupid. And then when about a year, 2 years down the road, they go, right, okay, we've got the new PS5 out, or the new Xbox out. All that stuff you've got now is pretty much worthless, only worth half what you paid for it. Because when you go back into a shop to try and trade it in, they look at you and go, right, yeah, the case is nice, the disc's in good nick, mate, well done, but I can only give you like £5 for it. And it's like, really? No, I'm done with doing that. Right, anyway, I was going to say baler, or we're just going to scoop it up and sell it directly. I'll let you kids decide. Yeah, you want it for the PS4? Yeah, kid. Yeah. I don't even have a console, as I say, I haven't had one since 360 days. And the dinosaurs were still alive. Scoop it. I've got one scoop. 1 or 2 scoops. Meanwhile, I'm going to go and cut this plant down while you decide. Plant Massacre Simulator. With me, Kevin Sawyer. Can we cut the door in? No, it's concrete and it's definitely not cuttable. We stole all their oil filters, so don't need to steal anymore. This guy's just... Yeah, they must have walloped the price up then, because I only paid 26 for mine. I'm sure I did. Cannot cut this tree down. You do not own this tree. You can't tell me what to do. Can we swim with the chainsaw? Let's go swimming with the chainsaw, man. No, you can't swim with the chainsaw. I didn't expect to. Now, there's something they could have brought into this game, and it's something which can be done because it's already been done for 15 or 17. Fishing. Get a nice old fishing rod out. Donk. That bath was refreshing. Right. Well, he's done over here. So I'll go. I'll grab a scoop, as there's only been one vote for scooping. I can lease that out. Well, forager. Where are they? Got to remember where they are. They are here. Loading wagon. Yeah, you've got the weird taxes stuff going on, and because how does the tax work on internet? Is it still based on where you are in the country, or is it? I don't know why. These. Or is it just a standard tax? Because obviously we still get VAT over here. We still get 20% VAT added on. Mind you, because again, I know from fact that you can get caught out in the States quite often, because if from over here everything's got VAT already added on it, unless you go into a builder's, some building centres or whatever, merchants or some electronics stores don't have the VAT added. And some co-ops the same, they don't have the VAT actually added to it, so you can get caught out. But most of the shops actually have the VAT, but in the States they don't have the VAT on the none of the shops have the VAT on the tickets. They bring it up at the till, so it's just like you think, oh yeah, I'm only paying like $5 for that, and then when you get to the till it's like, oh okay. I'm hoping we don't need to windrow this. Nah. Let's see, quick look at this. Again, I'm a bit disappointed with that. It looks okay, don't get me wrong, it does work, does and it doesn't. Could be better. Let's have a close look at it. Sorry, peeps. It's got a bit more detail inside the grain than 17 did, but it still looks very similar in the back. You do not own this land. I know, I'm just turning around in his land. He won't mind. He might come running out with a shotgun later on. That's also another thing you don't get in this game. Shotguns. I know there's no real need for it, but now they've got birds. Oh, I missed a bit. Nuts. I'll come back to that. Definitely gonna need scarecrows. Not that don't think scarecrows are really gonna work this modern day. I don't know if farmers still actually use scarecrows. I've never, amount of fields I've gone past these days, you never actually see a scarecrow. The only time you ever see them is in one of these like petting farms, but they have a field with just a mock field full of whatever. Right, I'm full. So I'll take it to the. I guess we take it to the barn. This must be the selling point. So where's the closest barn from here? I wonder if we can store it. I'm gonna go and try. See what happens. If it says no, then we know. Well, actually, it does say no. I know it's gonna say no. Because there's. If we look at the silo information, look at placeables. Silos. Just says grain, doesn't it? Barn. Decorative object. You can buy bales, really? Okay, yeah, because there was a mod for buying bales. That does make sense, actually. Right, well, anyway, I was looking for the barn, wasn't I? The closest barn from where we are. There's one there. I think that is the closest one. So that's more or less down here. So I'm going to jump in the cab view. I really wish. I wonder if I can still turn track IR on. Let it come on naturally. Let's try and turn it on. I doubt it. Normally, once you load the game without it on, you're stumped. Uh oh. You guys are going to see my track IR. No, it didn't come on. Don't think it would. No, that's a shame. It is a shame, but I'm not going to quit the game just to get it going. No real need. A mouse does work. You just have to remember to use it. Get out of the way, Miss Bird. I've got beacons on. Have a look. Yeah, cool. Beacon view. Alright. So it's right down the other end, isn't it? Let's have a quick look, double check. Yeah, so we've got to go around and around here. Good chance to actually see the map rather than just hurtling around it at 50 miles an hour. And it's not down there, is it? It's the next one on, I think, I hope. Whoa. I think I've gone the wrong way, peeps. Wrong way, simulator. Deer crossing. Yes, I've gone the wrong way. Oh. Can I make this turn? Yeah. Did a bit of an illegal U-E. I've got to go back down that other road, haven't I? I'm surprised how my old PC's managing this, to be fair. To be fair, I knew it wouldn't struggle too much, because anything that's made for a console, this old beast should be able to run pretty well. Because when I built this thing, it was a console killer in its day. Post. But that was, mind you, the graphics card is a bit newer. but it's still the main board and the processor that I need to update. It's not cheap in itself. So like you with kid with the PS4 stuff, you know, we have to make an upgrade every now and again. The old PC people. That's the only downside of PCs. You do have to upgrade every now and again, at least. If you'd buy a half decent PC, I mean, if you spend a little bit more in the rather than just skimping out, you can get a PC that will probably last you, especially if you build your own. It'll probably last you about 10 years, because I've had this plus 10 years. Okay, the graphics card is like, oh, hang on, we sell it there. Let's come up with something. Yeah. Make extra money. It sounds like someone taking someone having a pee. I like the fact the engine RPM picks up when you start dumping. That's, again, hate to use that phrase, realistic. It's like I feel like paying dagger win a pound every time I say that. Out here, isn't it? Was it out here? Yes, it is out here, because we go up and around. Yep. Whoa, don't want to crash into the back of Mr. Audi. Now that's a bit jerky. Now I don't know if that's just my computer making it jerky like that, or that's just how they are. Because I noticed that's how they used to be in 17. If you're driving alongside them, they used to get a bit of frame lag like that. The frames around me don't look too bad though. Normally it affects. Oh, there goes my mouse. Hang on. Oh. Just dropped my mouse, sorry peeps. You get a free copy. Yeah, well, it's ways and means, isn't there? Ways and means. It's like YouTube's a wonderful place to find free stuff, like some films you can watch on YouTube for free because they've misnamed them. What was I watching the other day? It was like a spin-off of Attack of the Triffids. And it had Eddie Izzard in it, and I think she might have been Ewan McGregor. And I watched that, and I was like, because it said most best horror films 2018 or something, and I was like, oh, let's have a quick look at that. Clicked on it. Missed a bit over there. And I was surprised. I was like, wow, this is a whole film. Because I was thinking, this looks like a decent film, I might have to buy this. And then it just kept on going. I was like, well, this isn't a trailer, this is the whole film. It's a low resolution, don't get me wrong. It's just like, yeah. But it's still watchable. Okay, Lego, thank you for Lego Kid. Thank you for dropping by. Don't forget to drop a like before you go. If you want to hit the old notification bell, you can do. all helps me out in the long run. Trying to get to 1,000 subs before the end of the year. This is my final big push. Uh-oh, driving across that. God, this thing goes quite quick. Oops, missed a bit for loading wagon. I'm going to be full before I get to the end, I know it. Wish I had cosplay. Again, I got so lazy. I spend most of the time just setting people doing job and just going around looking pretty. Never actually do any real farming these days. But that's what farm managers do. They manage, they delegate. They put their hours in of grafting. Like the dashboard. Can't zoom in on it like I can do with a... It does look nice. Again, I think this has been pinched. I've gone the wrong way again. Pinched off of something. I'm going to cut across that grass. Quite a tough little thing, this thing. I bet if, well, I guess if once you sell the doghouse, the dog will disappear as well. I'm just thinking futuristically, once we get to the point when we get the house all built, because I want to put the house next to the, well, put the doghouse next to the house, and it seems right. Towards the end, I will probably try and lease, because that's just. It's crawling in the back of my mind now. Can the dog get in the back of the pickup truck? Can the dog get up in a rig? Bit like in the good old days of Smoking the Bandit and Snowman. You don't get much money for that, but it's better than nothing. Oops. What I might do is I might put some of this aside. I know it looked terrible having a haystack just randomly piled somewhere on the farm, but I could put it next to the dog kennel. What was it I heard you can actually store fertiliser and stuff now? Heard that at some point as well. What silo could you store that in? I'm going to have a quick look. We get sidetracked, sorry peeps. Silos. Okay. Could store it in that. That's only 90 grand. Where can I put it? It's not going to get in the way. Could put it next to the dog kennel, because then it'd look a bit more. He won't be on his. Well, if it let me, that is. Bet it won't let me. Nuts. That's what I say to that. Doesn't like being put there, does it? At all? Not at all. I don't really want to put it on the grass over here. Though it's going to fit nicely over here. I'd rather not put it over here. I guess it's not that close to the field, so it won't be that much of a problem. Okay, Q and E. Okay, C. Grid snapping. Okay. I don't think that is the actual. I remember I messed about with the. I don't know what the actual original default is for the grid snapping because I was messing about the cameras. Will that now work if I try over here? No. Oh, that worked. It doesn't work there, but it works there. So I'm going to try and push that a bit closer forward. Doink. Oh, that doesn't look too bad. I can store this drawer now. I'd rather store it, and then once we start getting animals and stuff, we're good to go. It don't rot. And I'd rather than pile it up in the middle there. How's everyone in the stream? Is everyone alright? Everyone gone to sleep today? What time is it? No, it's not that early, late. Oops. I haven't put everyone bored everyone to sleep, have I? My constant ramblings. I could get another. Yeah, no, I've only got the one tractor. I could hire another tractor, but I don't want to. These care wheels definitely are doing my nutting though. I'd rather swap out to the wide ones, but again it's just constantly having to swap back and back and back and forth. Come on tractor, up the hill you go. I'll have to move the combine too. Right, that off. I'll leave it ticking over because I'm not going to be gone long. I don't think anyone's going to nick it up here, hopefully. Right. I'll be considerate and not try and drive over that farmer's field. Be honest, if I say I owned this, I'd probably plough these into one big field. Because both these two little fields just seem a bit academic, you know what I mean? Call that, I wouldn't do that in real life. I'd go thundering down a hill like that in a brand new combine. It's like I got a brand new carbon harvester, I'm rolling down a hill. I've lost all my brakes and now I'm gonna crash into something. Shouldn't get done for copyright like that. Hopefully. Touch wood. What's that having a P sound again? Kind of sounds like someone having a P / rain. Guess it kind of beats the whole white noise, the white sand pouring noise I used to get in the old one. But that's more of the realistic, again, hate to use that phrase, realistic sound. Right, where is the trailer? It's over here, isn't it? Watch out, doggy doggy, don't run you over. Oh, this thing hitch. Oh, I need to pull it up. How do you repair these as well? That's another question I've got. There's no option. I take it to the shop, I guess. The only option you've got is get in it. There's a little spanner there saying it may need repairing at some point. I don't know how that, if you beat it up, it's just going to cause the spanner to go more, or if it's just general wear and tear. Or it only activates at a certain point, maybe. I'm guessing. It's all stuff we're going to learn. And it just makes me laugh because I got all that. Well, I'm still going to play 17 for a while anyway. So for you people that do still enjoy watching me play 17, I'm going to play that for as long as I can, to a point where the views to become none or nothing at all. And then I'll just call it a day. Because I've done so much work on that now. Right, what's next? We need this. Get off my land. They don't destroy the neighbour. Do you? No, you don't. You don't destroy the neighbouring field when you drive over them. That's always good then. And I think in multiplayer, I think you can turn it on or off anyway. Certain people can have it, some people can't. To stop sort of like trolls. I just don't see why people would. Well, I can actually, because we had that on Leadfoot when I used to play on multiplayer. That was the final straw for me actually. Was when someone started doing a load of donuts and stuff, because we had crop destruction on that. Right. We've done with this. Where does it go? Does it go in here or is it going round the back? It goes in round the back, yeah. This is the... Oh no, you can. So there's 2 points here then. Again, it stopped randomly. Keyboards. That's the... okay, that's the fill point. That's alright then. All good gravy. So I'm learning stuff. This has been borrowed off of 17. Yo, dog. It's like woo 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 woo. Right, we can return the... I'm not going to bother back to the shop. I'm just going to return it as is. Leased items. That. Return. Yes. I might as well return that trailer as well. Save on costs because we don't need it. Yes. Now what I need is a cultivator. There should be one over here somewhere. Or actually, do I... How much... No, you don't. You lose money. So you've hired it for a few hours in a sense. Which I think is wrong. I think they should do it by... You should be able to... Because I remember when they first started doing this, when the mod first came out for the rental mod, and you could do it, you could choose how many hours you wanted to rent it, and how many days you wanted to rent it, and then you could just select, and then it'd give you the price on however long you wanted to borrow it for, which was a lot better because obviously you could think, right, I'm going to need that for an hour, so I can rent it for an hour, and then you're done. You just had to make sure you get it rented done within an hour, because if you didn't, you got fines for not returning it back in time. Typically, when you're working with hire, whether it's plant hire or whether it's anything you're hiring, it works out better if you hire it for 3 days or whatever rather than just 1 day. You actually have to pay more for renting it just for a day than renting it for a couple of days. I think car's the only exception, but it's been a while since I rented a car out or hired a car. What was I looking for again? Spray fertilizer, wasn't I? See, how can I empty the Bowser back out then? Because we've got a sprayer sitting right over here. It's just full of pesticide. Where has it gone? Over here. So how do we empty this back out again? Is there a way we can empty this back out again? Well, I'm sure you can. I'm so told that we can empty it out again. Is there like a special empty pallet or something we need to buy? Pallets. Herbicide tank. Again, this is where you need an empty tank. And silos. Miscellaneous. So it's a water station. Farmhouse. Then we don't need. So none of those stables look like they remotely store anything other than that one. The stores grass and straw. I'm going to go and hook it up and see if there's an option that pops up. If it let me. Come on, controller. Thank you. Puts it back on pallet. I'll try it. Let's see what happens. Let's hope. Can we empty this thing out? Is it like control? Is it shift and I or whatever? Right, hire worker, unthrow sprout, unload. Right, okay, so what happens when I unload? I dump it right here. Oh, there we go. Cool, that's alright then. So now I need fertilizer. Actually, can I just hire... I can just hire the worker and he can... Actually, is that a really good idea? Actually, yeah, no, it's a good idea. We'll do it over this side and work our way back. That way it won't crash into the tree. I'll hire him off. Because I need to go and stretch my legs. Uh-oh. Oh yeah, that's right. I hit enter. Oh yeah. No. Okay. I obviously need to fill it up. You can't cheat this, obviously. You have to fill it up with one or t'other. So I'll go and get one. Have we got one over there, or is that still herbicide? Suppose I go lunatic asylum across the farm. It's like Daggerwin would never do this. He wouldn't drive like a lunatic across his own farm. He'd drive sensibly. Frankly, I'm not Daggerwin. It's like unsub. You're not Daggerwin. You don't know Daggerwin. No, we didn't have one, so I need to buy one. So I'm gonna go. Actually, I'm gonna walk into the shop and buy one because I spent the whole sort of afternoon trying to get this to work, so I might as well use it rather than not use it. Pallets, fertilizer. Buy. Thank you. Put up. Well, I didn't need to put. Oh, I guess it's pumping it in. It's using the PTO to pump it in. Again, lunatic asylum across the grass. Again, just. Again, it's still relatively early. Is that 5 to 10? What are you up to, Sinky? You playing on Farming Simulator, or you just chilling? Yeah, that works. Oh, okay. Let's have a quick look at the. Oops! Jump out the tractor. No, go on, mate. Go on, drive on. I guess that is, again, hate to use that phrase, realistic, because it is liquid. Oh, he's missed a bit. It's because I stopped him. Or is he? Is it just piled up there? Does it in percentages? This reminds me of an old game called Agricultural Simulator. Where it used to do it that way. It used to do it in a percentage rather than do it as waiting to just fertilise the whole field. or it should just, like, say, fertilised or non-fertilised. You'd walk over this bit and it'd be non-fertilised. No, it is non-fertilised because I just realised the texture. I'll leave him fertilising. I'm going to turn my mic off quickly, and I'm just going to quickly go and stretch my legs. I'll be back. Right, I'm back. Hopefully you guys can hear me. I did just mute. I muted it off of my actual mic, but then I realised I could mute it off of XSplit as well. Right. So I muted it off XSplit rather than have the sound of just me grabbing the microphone. Where's my keyboard gone? Right behind me. Ooh. There it is. One thing I must do that some sort of tonight or tomorrow or tonight after the stream or tomorrow morning. I must. Oh, he's not done all the. He's missed a bit again. Order a new chair because this thing is just doing my nutting now. I'm fertilising the neighbour's field as well. I'm nice like that. He's fertilised all that neighbour's field for them. Neighbour should pay me for that. I should do some contracts really. That'd be another way of earning some money. But then you have to sort of like lease vehicles and all that jazz. I'll go and do that up a little tiny bit. Little birds flying off. That I like that a lot. It's a nice touch. Why didn't that do that? I drove across it. Unless it's just a pile of... Okay. It's just a pile of whatever. Right, okay. So I don't say everything bad about FS19. I do say nice stuff. Well, like the grass textures definitely. That I liked, but I think that's robbed from a mod. Whoops. Again, I've gone back to using the keyboard because of the wheel is not playing up. It's just because when I restarted it, it went back to its normal spring strength, and it's just like trying to turn a car that's got no central locking, or not central locking, no power steering, I should say. I'll do this one myself, and then I'll get the tractor. I'll grab the cultivator. Whoops, too much. This would be handy for a while until I could just hire the slurry again, like we did last night, but I figured we could do that next time. See, scrolling through Facebook, is it that certain page we're both members of you're looking at? People confessing their woes at work. So both me and Sinky, we both work in retail. I won't say where we work because, again, one, copyright reasons, two, I'm sure me and Sinky don't really want to advertise where we want to work for or who we work for. Be fair, up until recently I really didn't like... I don't like my job, but I really hated it. I just hated going into work every single day because it was always the same thing every single day. I'd get in, they'd go, right, you're doing this, and it's like, yeah, I knew I was gonna get given before I was given it. At least now it's a bit more varied. I'm on the forklift a lot more now, unloading lorries, sweeping garden centres, garden things, and checking over the forklift truck to make sure it's safe, etc., etc. Again, it just makes it more. We actually, going to the forklift, we had a fault last week before I went on holiday. I came in on the Tuesday morning, and when I went on, well, the last time I left it, it wasn't great because I logged it on a safety report that the brakes were feeling a bit strange, and they call it an immersion brake as well. That was feeling a bit weird. It didn't feel normally, because immersion brake basically says because ours is an electric, but it does also work on the diesels as well, from what I understand. When you release the throttle, it's a bit like an engine brake in a sense. You release the throttle, and then the brake kicks in, and you feel it slowing down. We need a cultivator, don't we? Yep. That didn't feel right, so I logged it. It's facing the wrong way. So I logged it, and then when I came back on the Tuesday morning, it wasn't working at all, and it felt really strange. And when you put your foot on the brakes, because over the weekend it just got worse and worse, and as soon as I got in, Sean said to me, yeah, he goes, watch the truck, because it's not great. Right, okay. So I jumped on it, drove it out into the yard, and I was like, yeah, this doesn't feel great at all. Because it's fine when you're travelling, because you can judge it when you've got the distance, but when you're trying to square yourself up to a pallet, it gets a bit scary, because if you're getting a bit quick like I have, because I've got a lead foot, that's why I call this farm lead, that's why I called the old farm lead foot, because I've got a lead foot. I do drive a bit quick. It gets a bit scary. So it's lining up to a pallet, and you're just like, whoops, and before you know it, you're pushing the pallet forward, or you haven't timed it quite right, and you're just like, okay, yep. Lucky enough, most of the time I was just dinging the pallet rather than dinging the goods, but it was a bit touch and go. And then they asked me to fill up the GPC, it's a Garden Project Centre. So I started filling that up, and as I'm filling that up, it's raining, and it was like, yeah, the brakes were just getting worse and worse. And then I'm sort of like, because when I go to pull the handbrake, it didn't feel like the handbrake was really working that well. So I was like, right, okay, so I pull the handbrake a little bit harder, a bit further up, just to make sure it's on as I'm getting off to adjust the forks or whatever, or take the packaging off the paving slabs. And I'm like, as I pull the handbrake up, I click it, and I feel it sort of like not towards its maximum travel, but near enough its maximum travel. I think, right, okay, and I go to get off the truck, and I feel it jerk a little, start moving forward, and I went, right, okay, yeah, the brake's definitely not working now. And then so I pulled the handbrake one more notch, and I heard this clunk, and then I was like, oh, what was that? And looked over into the handbrake itself, and you could see where the cable just literally snapped off the bottom of the handbrake lever, and I was like, oops. So I was like, yep, okay. So as soon as that happens, I was just like, yeah, I'll finish off what I've got to do before I go and log it or go and tell the management. Did I miss that bit? I think I did. Doesn't look right. And they said, oh yeah, you told us this morning the brakes weren't great. And I said, yeah, no, the handbrake's completely failed now. The cable just snapped. And then that is just like, they looked at me and I said, look, I didn't intentionally snap it, it just went. And they went, okay, we'll log it with Briggs. And it was just like, the Briggs guy comes out knowing that we've told him there's a problem with the brakes, and it's just like, he comes out, we tell him, basically I told him about the problem with the brakes, on the guy that got transferred over recently then says, oh well, yeah, the mast's also a bit loose. I said, well, yeah, I said it's not as tight as it used to be, but the truck's got well mullered because someone used to drive like a lunatic on it. Mullered the, and this isn't me, by the way. They used to literally go thundering at full speed over potholes and over drainage grates, and the thing would just bounce about. And they broke it the first time around. They broke the hydraulics. Side of it, so the steering side of it would do some crazy weird stuff. It would start spinning around on its own and all that crazy stuff. But because he used to drive it like that, I noticed after he'd done that, it got a bit loose. It wasn't dangerously loose, but it was definitely looser than it used to be. So I logged it once. I said to one of the management, I said, it is a bit loose, but it's not dangerous. I will log it again once I think it's starting to get to that point where it is dangerous. And then it was just like, it didn't get any worse. Didn't get any better, obviously, but didn't get any worse. So we just sort of like must have all got used to it. But he logged it and said, oh, it's really loose. And I said, it's not that bad. And then he said, well, the brakes aren't that bad. And I said, yeah, they are. I said, they're lethal. You put your foot on the brake and it doesn't stop. It makes a noise, but it doesn't actually stop. Not until you put your foot, plant your foot down against the deck. Then it stops. But the thing is, the Briggs guy, he came up knowing that he's got to check the brakes, but he had no parts or anything. So all he managed to get to work was the immersive brake or motion brake. So then at least then it would slow itself down now, which made life a lot easier, admittedly. But with no handbrake, every time you put the handbrake on, you'd have to either make sure you're on a level, make sure the forks are touching the deck, which you should do anyway, but if you need to adjust your forks for any reason, it can be difficult to have the forks against the ground. You have to have them raised in order to adjust it. What I found is if I left it either in forwards or reverse, it wouldn't roll. Well, it would jerk, but it wouldn't roll any further than that. I was just like, yeah, I'm glad I'm not unloading the delivery, because one of my other colleagues, he jumped on it and he said, I'll do the delivery. I went, okay. I said, look, before you set off, I said, the handbrake's not working and the immersion brake isn't working either. And he goes, what's the immersive brake? It's the brake that slows it down when you release the throttle. He said, oh, okay, it's always cool. Yeah, some people call it motor brake, but in the book it's called an immersion brake. But that was fun, trying to get that thing around. The thing's knackered. It's got well. It's now for the people who want to know what type of forklift truck it is. It's not your conventional standard forklift truck like you got on the game here. It's what they call a pivot steer. It's an Aisle Master pivot steer. It's basically Briggs's version of what they call a bendy. So basically the mast and the actual back of the truck are two separate entities, and it's pivoted sort of like in the middle, or not in the true middle, but towards the front. So rather than just the back wheels spinning or turning and you end up spinning the whole truck round, you turn the handle and then the forks and the mast turn, and then the rest of the truck kind of follows. It's better for sort of like aisle work and restricted access work, but they're really unstable. If you get them wrong, they tip over really quick, as we've had loads of like bulletins put up on our board, and it's like this store's had an accident, one's fallen over when he went to unload some concrete repair spurs off a truck. It fell over, and then someone unloaded some too longer sheets and they got at an angle, which can happen unfortunately, because we've got a problem in our yard where, because obviously our yard isn't the biggest of yards, there's points of time where the truck's quite close to either the more stock or the edge of the yard, and so you have to come in at an angle to get it out, otherwise you just get into all sorts of trouble. And it's just like they keep saying, oh, you got to make sure you grab the load straight, and you can't always do that. Especially when you're working in the store and you've got to unload it from the racking from right up high, because 9 times out of 10 someone's gone and decided to put one of the management has decided to put some long stock. Why is that not? Is that? Oh, it's because it's raised. Just put some long stock right up on the top racking. Again, the reason you can't put it in the lower racking, because sometimes the lower racking just has, you can't fit it in there. But it's always up in the top, and it's always in a tight, horrible one. They put some long stock right up in the very far corner of the store, and you can't easily get to it. You have to come in at one. You have to sort of like come in at a 90 degree in order to get to that part of the aisle, and then 90 degree it again, but in a small small space, and it's difficult to do because you have to sort of almost do like a 3-point turn in the yard into the aisle, sort of get it in, make sure your forks don't go crashing through a plate glass door, and make sure your back end doesn't get snagged up and racking. And then it's right, okay, I've got that bit, that was the easy bit. Now I've got to try and get the long stock down, and these things can be like, it's like quite a fair distance, I'd hate to say, over 2 meters long. In some cases, you've got like baths on there. You've got like bath panels. Sometimes this, sometimes that. Sometimes big, massive mirror doors. All sorts. And it's like, right, now you've got to try and get that out of the racking and try and get the truck to turn at the same time without getting stuck. And it's like, yeah, okay. And as you guys and girls know me, I've got a lead foot, and I'm like, bruh. I struggle. That's one of my weaker areas, is the top racks. Just seeing where the forks are, where you need to be. Sheets are hard. Big 8x4 sheets. Getting them down. They're banded, you feel a bit more secure, but if someone's just thrown them up in the air and all they've done is shrunk wrap them, you're like, yeah, I'm a bit hesitant about this. Especially when, again, they've hidden what they've done is they've compiled it up in a way So sometimes they use some 8x2s, so they're 8 foot long, 2 foot wide, and they compile them both together. But what they don't do is they don't shrink it all up as one. They shrink it up as separate entities and then just rack them as one. And then if you don't get the forks just right, you either end up damaging the back end of the stock, or again you just need to get the forks just right, just in enough to pick up the stock that you want to pick up and not disrupt the stock behind it. Or if you're going to try and pick up the whole stock, make sure you pick it up and it's all squared up and not going to go all over the place, because when you do pick it up, even it starts to, what I call a live load, it starts to move around as you're pulling it out. If it gets snagged on a racking, you can get into all sorts of trouble then. I almost had it again when I was the other week. I was just like, I was pulling it out, and then it was the back end of the sheets was snagging against this racking, but the front end wasn't. So I'm like, and I could see the back end moving out. My colleague went, yeah, the back end of the stock's moving away from it. And I know. There's not a great deal I can do. All I can do is just try and shake it out without it falling off. So I had to sort of like just tilt the forks just enough, just so it took the stop snagging off the top of the racking. It's fun in the summer. In the summer it's great when you're unloading lorries. I got sunburn on the back of my neck this year because I'm doing it, but it's not so great in the winter. Winter it gets a bit cold and wet. I remember when a lorry comes in and I'm like, right, and it wasn't raining when I walked out into the yard to open the gate for him. It wasn't raining. It was drizzly, but it wasn't raining that hard. As soon as I opened the gate, and literally, it's almost like when he started his engine, he synchronized Hell's Thunder or something, because excuse me, it started hammering it down, and then he gets it stuck in the yard, and I'm like, great. So I'm having to sort of like banks him round, and then he's just like, and then the trailer's almost snagging against something else, and I'm like, how could you get this so wrong, mate? Every other driver came in and he was fine with it, but you had to get it literally so wrong. And I was absolutely drenched by then. And I grabbed the sheet off him, the docket, so then can go to management and get them to tick it off. And it's just like, oh, you're a bit wet. Yeah, it is raining outside. Still got three people watching. Wonder who's asleep and who isn't. Go around and tap on their screen. Dunk dunk dunk. If I dunk dunk dunk. It's like everyone's just gone deaf now. It's like, you get it. Shouldn't really do that to the mic. It's not good for it. I'm gonna hire a guy off this last bit. screen. Go and chase some Z's. Alright, Sinky. Wow. Accept, whoever that is. Someone found the server. Alright, Sinky, anyway, you take care, mate. Have a good evening. And thanks for monitoring for tonight. And I shall see you probably tomorrow or someone. You take care. Synchronizing Play-Doh with other players. Oh man, I haven't missed this. Alright man, Stinky. I thought you were going to go and catch some Z's. Oh, he's left the server. He joined and left. It's like nothing going on here. Right. Oh, someone else wants to join the server. Accept. Accept. 2 people want to join the server at the same time. It goes 10%, doesn't go 100% though, does it? Oh, there's one. Hello. Hi. He's like, jump, jump. Right. I wonder if I can set my dog on him. Throw a ball in his face. I won't. Right, anyway. That's almost done. We can hire... I guess we could hire another tractor. But we need to hire another cultivator. And someone else. Hello! Sinky! MP power. Synchronize. How come it did it that way? That's odd. It does it one way one time and does it another way another time. Synchronizing data of other players. Oh yeah, forget question mark. Always. Screenshot. How's the tractor doing? Almost done. Was it done? Almost done. No, where's it going? It doesn't need to do it again anymore. That's it. Done. Don't think there's any more left there, is there? No, that's it. That looks done to me. And it says 50% fertilised. That's a bit weird. Means we're going to have to spray it again. Has left the server. Oh, Lego Code, welcome back. Yeah, still farming. Got some people wandering around on the farm now. Jinky's here on the old Leadfoot. I guess we could hire out another tractor so they could get the seeder out. Actually, I'm gonna go into options while I've got this guy doing what he's doing. Go into options. Sinky, I can give him options to buy. How do you enable it? Oops. No farm. Oh, he's not joined Leadfoot. He's just running around on his own. Where's all the other players gone? They've all gone. Yeah, it went. Oh, it's under Kev's game, not Leadfoot. Ah, okay. Alright. I didn't know that. Whoops. My bad. Right, let's hire out. Has he joined the farm? Yeah. Yeah, I've got 17. I haven't played it as much recently, I must admit. I knew, because again, I didn't want to get overly committed to it. I've got quite a few mod videos for 17, if that keep you going till he's watching the dog. They'll keep you going until you can afford to buy 19 Lego. Go and have a look. I've got loads of mod videos that I've done. It's on the mods list on the videos categories. Yeah, so he's doing that. Let's hire. He's watching the dog. I think he's just watching the dog. His dog's watching him. He's watching the dog. There's a nice little curve in there. Look. See, the traffic must have stopped again. I'm glad I did it this way, because then as it gets further away from that road, it's not going to cause so much trouble. I don't know. Again, I don't typically like to plant seeds in the afternoon, but just to speed things up, I might just hire another tractor out. I could always cheat this game at some point, but I don't really want to. I want to try and keep it legit. There's no... Oh yeah, it's got the dirts. How much How much horsepower has the Dirts? That's 140. That's not bad. See, I don't think they're more like road tyres, aren't they? You couldn't use them on off-road. We could, but it's typically tractors have them sort of tyres. But I really want to see a tractor with them sort of tyres. So if I don't, let's see what other. So I've got a Fendt already. So I'm going to be that Dirts. Could buy that Dirts, but I don't want to. No, I can't. How many more horsepower has this thing got? I like this thing. I like it a lot, but okay, that's not bad. It's 150 brake horse. Wide tyres, narrow tyres, standard tyres. Looks alright with standard tyres, to be fair. How much is it? Can we? Do not have enough money. I think. Right, lease. Yes. I do like this thing. I like that. I don't know why. I do like it. It's a Fiat. I wouldn't touch a Fiat with a barge pole. Again, because this would fit very well into my old classic farming. I think there is a version of this. There's a mod version of this somewhere. It doesn't have a beacon, but it doesn't bother me. I just like the little propeller. The engine that was running there. Little cooling fan, I should say. Propeller. And the belts move and everything as well. It's pretty cool. Cool horn as well. Do 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 do. Thank you. I've got your present. This is where I find it doesn't work with. Oh, it won't work with that cedar, will it? Nuts. Because that part of that hooks on the front and the other part of it hooks on the back. I could always swap tractors out. That's a good idea. Because this has got more horsepower than the other one anyway, I think. By about 10 horsepower. Which I find hard to believe. This is an older machine. Oh, Sinky's in the tractor. Stop, Sinky, stop! Want to swap tractors. Need to swap tractors. Stop! Look. That's the woman in it. Hang on. No, I've just done it. Don't need to. He gets an idea. More train tracks in the grass. Right. And this can get on with seeding something, because it's got a front hitch, and it does work. Does it need more seed though? That's the question. Whoops. Is there a need for seed? No, I'm pointing it the wrong way like an idiot. Zoink. I still hate these wheels on this. Don't not like the cow wheels. Still a fair amount of seed in this. Oh yeah, let's go and see what Sinky's up to. Oh no, I didn't mean to do that. Oh, what was in it anyway? Oh, that's alright. That's fine. We need more of that anyway. Never too bad, I think. The more wheat we get, the better. Or the more grains we get, the better. The more we can sell. Chainsaw Massacre. He's in the tractor. I'm going to watch him go flooring it across the... And the fix it again, Tony. Fix it again, Tony. I think I'm going to leave it at that, peeps. It's been over 2 hours. But I hope you guys and girls enjoyed the stream. This one was better than... No hiccups in this stream, thankfully. If you did, again, guys and girls, if you're watching in the archives later on, or if you're in the stream right now, please don't forget to like. If you didn't like it for any reason, again, guys and girls, please feel free to dislike. But please leave a comment down below to why you didn't like it, so at least then I can try to improve in the future. And if you know anyone else that may also enjoy watching the stream, guys and girls, or watching this, again, guys and girls, please feel free to share. It helps me out a lot, and I don't mind you sharing. And if you're new to my channel and see future episodes or future streams, please don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell, so then you're immediately informed as soon as I upload something or start a stream. I'll see you in the next one. TTFN.